Well, hi, hello, my dear students. Welcome to my video lecture class. Right up to now, I uploaded video lectures on the topic kinematics. In this topic, I uploaded already two lectures. In the first lecture, I explained introduction about kinematics and types of motion. I'll discuss in the first lecture. In the second lecture, I discuss I discuss distance, displacement, note points of distance and displacement, examples of distance and displacement I discussed. Now I am going to discuss numericals on distance and displacement. Numericals on distance and displacement. First problem, problem number 1 is I will consider as example problem 1. If a body moves in circular path it covers quarter part of circle then covers quarter part of circle and it has radius r is equal to 1 meter, then find ratio between distance and displacement. Then find ratio between distance and displacement. This is first question. Observe carefully. If a body moves in a circular path, it covers quarter part of circle. Quarter part means what, ma? Quarter part means 1/4 part. Okay, quarter part means 1/4 part of circle and it has radius r is equal to 1 meter. Then find a ratio between distance and displacement. Now, solution given. What is given data here? Body moves in circular path. Is it or not? So this is I'll consider circle. It has a radius is given. Radius is given. Okay. Quarter part of circle. Quarter part means this is quarter part or not? This is quarter part of circle. Body moves from, I'll consider A to B. It covers quarter part of circle. This is 1/4 part. Is it or not? 1/4 part. Okay. Quarter part of circle. So here radius is equal to 1 meter is given. So then find the ratio between distance and displacement. So distance means here distance is equal to the total path covered by a body. Distance means total path covered by a body. So the total path covered by a body. What is the total path covered by a body here? Total path covered by a body is equal to. So this is a distance here. If I consider this is a 1 by 4th part. Distance means here I can indicate as d, this part. This is a distance. Okay, so displacement means this is a displacement. I'll consider as a displacement as s. Displacement is s here, distance is here d. So distance d is equal to total path covered. So from A to B, so this path covered is equal to circumference of quarter circle, 1 by 4th of circle, quarter part of circle. So because the body covers quarter part only, that's why we consider circumference of quarter part only. So circumference of quarter part of circle, that is equal to, so full circle, for full circle circumference is 2 pi r. Quarter part means 2 pi r. Quarter part means 1 by 4 into 1 by 4, because quarter means 1 by 4. Total circumference is 2 pi r. We want quarter part, that's why into 1 by 4. So finally we got here 2, how many times? 2 times here. Finally we got pi r by 2. 2 times. Pi r by 2. So from this pi r by 2 we got, here r means 1 meter, pi into 1 by 2. So finally we got pi by 2 meters. Okay. So distance d is equal to pi by 2 meters we got. So now displacement s is equal to, so here displacement s is equal to shortest path between initial position and final position. That is called here displacement. So how to find this displacement here? Then displacement s is equal to, so we want this displacement s value. How we got displacement s value? Already you know, this is 1 meter, because this is also radius here. This is also radius. This radius is equal to 1 meter. This was here, observe carefully. I'll consider as O. This is, so from right angle triangle AOB, side square plus side square is equal to hypotenuse square. Side square plus side square is equal to hypotenuse square. Pythagoras rule. From Pythagoras rule, side square plus side square is equal to hypotenuse square. Here observe carefully. This is we got A, this is O, this is B. This is 1 meter, this is 1 meter, this is hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is considered as S, displacement S. Is it or not? So from this side square, this is side square plus side square. Side square plus side square is equal to hypotenuse square. Side square is 1 square plus 1 square is equal to h square. H square means x square. So finally we got x square is equal to 1 plus 1, 2. Then s is equal to root 2. S is equal to root 2. Is it or not? So s is equal to root 2 we got. So displacement s is equal to we got root 2. Distance d is equal to we got pi by 2. Okay, pi by 2. So what do you want here? We need to find a ratio between distance and displacement we want from this question. Is it or not? So distance to displacement ratio we need to find here. So I'll drop this one. So displacement is root 2 here. Distance is pi by 2. So what is we got final values? Distance is equal to we got, distance d is equal to we got, distance d is equal to we got pi by 2. Displacement s is equal to we got root 2. What do you want here? distance by displacement. Distance by displacement, that is equal to pi by 2 by root 2, that is equal to pi by 2 root 2. Pi by 2 root 2. So this is a solution for this question. So what is the solution for this question? Pi by 2 root 2. So this is first example problem based upon distance and displacement. Next we will discuss second example. Well, to continuing my lecture on numericals on distance and displacement. Example 2. A body moves 6 meters north, 8 meters east and 10 meters vertically upwards. What is the resultant displacement from initial position? What is the resultant displacement from initial position? So here observe carefully. First of all, I will draw. This is north direction, south, east and west. Okay. So from this, here body moves 6 meters north. 6 meters north. 6 meters north direction. Is it or not? 8 meters east. 8 meters east. 8 meters east. And 10 meters vertically upward. This is 6 meters north it is moving. It is 8 meters east it is moving. 10 meters vertically upward means body moves like this. So that means definitely that is z-axis. Simple example. Body moves vertically upwards means that is nothing but z-axis. Vertically upward means z-axis. So here north is nothing but. So observe here. So north is nothing but positive y-axis. East is nothing but positive x-axis. Okay. So positive x-axis. This is negative y-axis. This is negative x-axis. Okay. So here north it is moving. So that's why it is x-axis, y-axis direction. Y-axis direction. This is a x-axis direction. And this is a z-axis direction because it is vertically upward. So how much it is moving? 10 meters is moving vertically upwards. So from this already we know x-axis is indicated with I cap, y-axis is indicated with j cap or j bar. So j bar. So if we have to represent any vector, x-axis represented as I cap, y-axis represented as j cap, z-axis represented as k cap. Okay. So x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. So now resultant displacement before we are finding, this is called position vector. Position vector r bar is equal to. So if we are going to read the topic vectors, so we got position vector. Position vector means body movement with respect to origin. Body movement with respect to origin is called position vector here. Position vector r bar is equal to here 8 I cap because x-axis represent I cap and y-axis represent j cap, 6 j cap, and z-axis represent k cap, 10 k cap. So resultant displacement we want. Resultant displacement. Resultant is also called as magnitude. Magnitude of displacement. Resultant or magnitude of displacement. Okay. Resultant or magnitude of displacement is equal to square root of 8 square plus 6 square plus 10 square. Okay, so from this magnitude means, simple example, magnitude means square root of 8 square plus 6 square plus 10 square. Coefficient of I cap whole square plus coefficient of j cap whole square plus coefficient of 10 square. How can we represent magnitude? Magnitude is taken as modulus. Modulus or r. Okay, modulus or r. So this is resultant. So then 8 square means 64. 6 square means 36. 10 square means 100. So 64 plus 36 here 100. 100 plus 100 200. Root 200 here. Root 200. Root 200 means 10 root 2 meters. 10 root 2 meters. So finally what we got here? 10 root 2 meters. The resultant displacement from initial position is 10 root 2 meters. This is the solution for second question. Next we will discuss third example problem. Question number 3. Well, to continuing my lecture on numericals on displacement and distance, example 3, observe carefully. A wheel of radius 1 meter, a wheel is there that having radius 1 meter, rolls forward. So let us consider. So this is a ground. This is a ground. Okay, this is ground. So here it is a wheel. Okay, here it is wheel. So wheel of radius 1 meter. This radius, wheel having radius 1 meter. Okay, radius is equal to 1 meter. Wheel of radius is equal to 1 meter, which is a rolls forward. So it going to be rolls like this. Okay, a wheel is a rolls forward. Half revolution. How much it is rolls? Half revolution only rolls. For example, this is I'll consider as point A. It rolling on surface. So it rolling on surface, it reaches here. Rolling on surface, it reaches here. Okay. So rolling on surface, it reaches here. Half revolution. Definitely this is point A. It revolves half forward, half revolution. Half revolution means this A point will be reaches to here. So that means half revolution it rolls means definitely this is the point. This is A and here is the point. After half revolution, this is the position. After half revolution, this is the position of a wheel. So now this I will consider as A dash. Okay. So now, so this distance, it rotates half revolution only. Is it or not? So from this, okay. So this distance we want. Okay. How much distance it is going to be? So this is radius 1 meter. This is radius 1 meter. And definitely this is 1 meter radius. This is 1 meter radius. So definitely this distance we got here 2 meters. This distance is 2 meters. And okay. So this I consider as some B point. Okay. So from here this we want. So observe carefully. A wheel of radius 1 meter, radius of 1 meter, rolls forward. It rolls forward half revolution it rolls half revolution on horizontal ground. The magnitude of displacement, what we need to find? Magnitude of displacement of the point of wheel initially contact with the ground. So magnitude of displacement from here to final position to initial position. Displacement means definitely distance from initial position to final position. What is initial position? This is A is initial position. After half revolution, what is final position, ma? Final position is A dash. After half revolution, final position is A dash. Initial position is A. So distance between this A and A dash is displacement. Here initial position is A. Final position after half revolution after half revolution is A dash. Okay, after half revolution is A dash. So from this, displacement is equal to A dash. Displacement is nothing but here A dash. Okay, so A dash is nothing but a displacement here. So how to find this A dash? Observe carefully here. Triangle A dash B. From right angle triangle A B A dash, okay, A B A dash, according to Pythagoras rule, side square plus side square is equal to hypotenuse square. So all know that. So side square plus side square is equal to hypotenuse square. What is side? This is a side. AB is one side. Okay, another side is BA is another side. So hypotenuse is here displacement. So here how we got AB value? Here, well, say side square plus side square is equal to hypotenuse square here. So this side length, how can you find? This is half revolution, it is rotated. So for half revolution, distance is equal to 2 pi r by 2, that is equal to pi r. 2 pi r by 2, that is equal to pi r. Half revolution distance is equal to pi r. That means this distance AB is equal to here pi into r value is already given 1 meter. That means we got here pi. So what is AB value we got? AB value we got here pi. AB value we got pi here. This is pi. And A dash B value 2. And hypotenuse value, yes. Here AB square, side AB square, another side A dash B whole square is equal to hypotenuse means x square. Okay. AB square means pi square. A dash B whole square means 2 square is equal to x square So what do you want here? S value we want, displacement S value we want. So from this we got displacement value. So from this displacement value S is equal to, so already we got here x square is equal to, so what we got ma? X square is equal to pi square plus 4. Then displacement S is equal to square root of pi square plus pi square plus 4. So this is S value we got. So finally we got here displacement S is equal to square root of pi square plus 4. So what is the answer for this question? So answer for this question is square root of pi square plus 4. So answer is option C is correct. Option C is correct. Option C is correct. Okay. So this is the solution of third question. So next we will discuss average speed and average velocity and few problems on average speed and average velocity. So next we'll continue our lecture on kinematics, velocity, speed. Okay, velocity is vector quantity, speed is scalar quantity. Velocity means displacement by time. Speed means distance by time. So now we have doubt. Why velocity is vector quantity? Observe carefully. Velocity is equal to displacement by time. Displacement is vector quantity, time is scalar quantity. Displacement is vector quantity, time is scalar quantity. So vector quantity by scalar quantity. Vector quantity by scalar quantity is vector quantity. So velocity is vector quantity. Here speed is equal to distance by time. Distance is scalar quantity. Time is scalar quantity. Scalar by scalar. Scalar only. So observe here. Note points are vector into scalar is vector. Vector by scalar is vector. Okay. Next. Vector by vector is vector. Okay. Next. Scalar by scalar is scalar. Scalar into scalar is scalar. So these are very important note points. Here displacement is vector quantity. Time is scalar quantity. Vector by scalar is vector only. So velocity is vector quantity. And speed is velocity is vector quantity. How can we represent? Velocity is represented as v bar. Speed is represented just v. Speed is represented just v. Velocity is represented as v bar. So that is very important. Next. Velocity is must less than or equal to speed. Magnitude of velocity is must less than or equal to speed. Okay. So this is about velocity and speed and these differences. Okay. And here velocity is equal to ds bar by dt. Displacement ds bar by dt. Here s bar means displacement vector. Here v bar is equal to ds bar by dt. Displacement vector. Here speed v is equal to distance. Distance I consider as s ds by dt. So here don't confuse s bar means displacement, s means distance. If you just take as a bar, that is a vector quantity. Distance is scalar quantity. Here velocity is vector quantity. Here v is scalar quantity. So speed is equal to ds by dt. Velocity vector is equal to ds bar by dt. Vector must be indicated with arrow mark on his head. Yes, any quantity we are taking arrow mark on head. Okay, this is about velocity and speed. Next, types of velocity, types of speed we will discuss. Types of speed. 1. Uniform speed. Second one, non-uniform speed. Third one, instantaneous speed. Fourth one, average speed. Average speed. So here uniform speed means throughout motion speed is constant. Throughout motion speed is equal to constant. Throughout motion speed is equal to constant. If we are moving from Chennai to Hyderabad, I am traveling in a car. Throughout motion I maintain 50 kilometers per hour speed. Throughout motion, then that motion is called uniform motion, that speed is called uniform speed. Okay. Non-uniform speed not equal to constant. It varies from position to position. So from Chennai to Hyderabad I am moving. In between Vijayawada is there. Chennai to Vijayawada, so I maintain 50 kilometers per hour speed. Vijayawada to Hyderabad I maintain 100 kilometers per hour speed. Here speed is varies from position to position. So that's why speed doesn't constant, that is called non-uniform speed. Instantaneous speed, the speed of your body at particular instant, speed of your body at particular instant. Instantaneous speed means limit delta t tends to 0, delta s by delta t is equal to ds by dt. This is nothing but instantaneous speed, dx by dt. For example, I consider as x as a distance. So here x is equal to distance. Okay. So this is instantaneous. Speed of a body at particular instant, that is called instantaneous speed. So this is very important. Average speed is equal to total distance traveled by a body, okay, total distance traveled by body by total time taken. So total distance traveled by body by total time taken. This is nothing but average speed. This formula is very important. Average speed is equal to total distance traveled by body by total time taken. This is average speed. Next, types of velocity we discuss. Types of velocity. Okay, types of velocity. Types of velocity. First one, uniform velocity. Second one, non-uniform velocity. Next, third one, instantaneous velocity. Fourth one, average velocity. So velocity has both magnitude and direction. Velocity has both magnitude and direction because velocity is a vector quantity. Is it or not? Uniform velocity means magnitude of velocity v bar and direction of v bar is equal to constant. So magnitude of velocity and direction of velocity both are constant, that is called uniform velocity. Non-uniform velocity, magnitude of v bar changes or magnitude of v bar changes or direction of v bar changes. That is called non-uniform velocity. Instantaneous velocity. Velocity at particular point. Velocity of a body at particular time is called instantaneous velocity. Here instantaneous velocity v bar is equal to limit delta t tends to 0 ds bar by dt is equal to delta s bar by delta t is equal to ds bar by dt. So here observe carefully, before instantaneous speed and instantaneous velocity, what is the difference? Instantaneous speed we consider just s. Here instantaneous velocity we consider s bar. This is very important. Here s bar nothing but displacement. S bar nothing but displacement. Average velocity. Average velocity is nothing but total displacement covered by body total displacement covered by a body by total time taken. Total displacement covered by a body by total time taken. So this is a formula of average velocity. Okay, total displacement traveled by total time taken. Average velocity depends upon displacement because it is velocity. Velocity must depends upon displacement. Speed depends upon distance. So this is about the types of velocity. Now we are going to solve few numericals on average speed and average velocity. Okay. Well, to continuing my lecture on numericals of average speed and average velocity. Example 1. A car travels first half of distance between two places at a speed of 30 kilometers per hour. Two places. Let us consider this is place A, this is place B. Okay, so these are the two places. Okay, half of the distance here, half of the distance. Okay, so here half of the distance. Here half of the distance is covered in 30 kilometers per hour. First half of the distance. Next second half of distance is covered in 50 kilometers per hour speed. 50 kilometers per hour speed. First half and second half. Second half is covered with 30 kilometers per hour. Let us consider this half of distance. This distance is s by 2 meters. This distance is s by 2 meters. So because half of the distance, this distance is s by 2 meters. Okay. So this s by 2 meters distance is covered in 30 kilometers per hour. This s by 2 meter distance is 50 kilometers covered. So let total distance be x kilometers. Okay, x kilometers. Total distance be x kilometers. So that's why half distance means s by 2 kilometers. Half distance means s by 2 kilometers. This s by 2 kilometers is covered in 30 kilometers per hour. This s by 2 kilometer distance is covered in 50 kilometers per hour. Okay. So now what we need to find here? Average speed. What is formula of average speed? Average speed is equal to total distance by total time taken. Okay, total distance by total time taken is called average speed. So already we know total distance is x kilometers. Is it or not? So total distance is x kilometers. So total distance is x kilometers. Now average speed is equal to total distance is x kilometers by total time taken. Let us consider for this half journey. For a half journey, I'll consider t1 time. For this half journey, time is t2. I'll consider. Okay. So for this one, t1 plus t2. For first half journey, we'll consider time is t1. For second half journey, time is t2. I consider. Time is t2. We consider. So here, speed is equal to distance by time. So from this, time is equal to distance by speed. So observe this problem clearly. So this is I consider as method 1. Second method I will discuss very easy single step. but listen this method. Average speed is equal to x kilometers and time is t1 and t2. So from this, x kilometers is nothing but x kilometers here, total distance x kilometers. T1 is nothing but, time is nothing but distance by speed. Time T1 is nothing but distance by speed. Distance is s by 2, speed is 30. S by 2 by 30 plus T2 is nothing but distance by speed. Distance is s by 2, speed is 50. X by 2 by 50. Okay, so we got so finally this. So from this we are solving these values. We got average speed. How to solve this? We solving this. We got average value. Okay. Okay. How to solve this? So we have to solve average speed is equal to what value we got, ma? X, total distance is x by 2 by 30, x by 2 by 50. So from this, so s by 2 as taken as common. So from this x by 30 into 2, 60, x by 60, x by 50 into 2, 100. So from this, x, here x has taken as common, 1 by 60 plus 1 by 100. Okay, this x going to be cancelled. So finally what we got here, 60 into 100. So what is LCM of 60 and 100? LCM of 60 and 100 is 10 tens, 2 3s, 2 5s. 10 2s 30. LCM is equal to 10 2s 30, 20, 23 is 60, 65 is 300. Okay, LCM is 300. So this 300 is moves above here. 60 how many times? 5 times. 100 how many times? 3 times. Okay, so 300 by 8 we got. This 300 by 8 is nothing but here. 300 by 8 is nothing but 37.5 kilometers per hour. So finally average speed value what we got, 37.5 kilometers per hour. So option, which option is correct? Option C is correct. Option C is correct here, 37.5 kilometers per hour. So now how can we solve this question in single step? In a single step. Single step. Single step. So method 2. How can we solve this question in single step? Method 2. Method 2. Method 2. If any problem is given like this, so from A to B, half of distance is covered in one velocity and another half of distance is covered in another velocity. Here distance is covered in another velocity, then average half of the distance is covered in V1 and another half of distance is covered in. So if problems given like half of distance covered in V1, another half of distance covered in V2, then average speed formula we got 2v1 v2 by v1 plus v2. Average speed formula, then apply formula. average speed is equal to V1 V2. This is very important. So we don't need to calculate in lengthy manner, method 1. This is method 2, simply apply formula. So half of the distance, here problem also, half of the distance is covered in 30 kilometers, is it or not? 30 kilometers per hour. Another half of distance is covered in 50 kilometers per hour. So like these problems are given, just directly apply 2V1 V2 by V1 plus V2. So directly apply formula here. So directly apply formula. So average speed is equal to 2V1 V2 by V1 plus V2. So that means 2 into 30 into 50 by 30 plus 50. So we got here 2 into 30 into 50 by 80. So from this here 0 cancel, 2 4s, so 2 4s here, and 4 how many times here? 2 4s, 2 2s, 2 25s, and this is a 75 by 2. 75 by 2 means 35 point. What we got? 37.5 kilometers per hour. So what we got here finally? 37.5 kilometers per hour. So like this we apply simple formula. So if any problem, half of the distance is covered in V1 velocity, another half of distance is covered in V2 velocity, then average speed, asking in problem, then average speed is equal to formula 2V1 V2 by V1 plus V2. Okay, so this is a note point. And not only this, one more note point is there. So I'll write these two. Okay, so observe here. So note 1 is, if your body covers a distance V1 with the speed V1 kilometers per hour, V1, the speed V1, and returns back to initial position with the speed V2, then average speed. If you consider speeds here V1 V2, then average speed formula 2V1 V2, average speed is equal to 2V1 V2 by V1 plus V2. So how can we represent in diagram? So this is a diagram. So A, B. If you consider this total distance in V1 kilometers per hour or meters per second, and B2A is V2 kilometers per hour, then average speed is 2V1 V2 by V1 plus V2. So this is also important. Okay, and half of the distance covered in V1, half of the distance is covered in V2. At that time also we apply formula 2V1 V2. Okay, 2V1 V2 by V1 plus V2. Average speed or average velocity also this formula only. Okay, average velocity also this formula only. So this is very important formula. Just we have to apply this formula. We are easy to solve any type of questions. So when we apply this concept, this is point 1, and second one is this is position A, this is position B. Half of the distance is covered in V1, another half of distance is covered in V2. So this is half of the distance. This is another half of distance. Half distance is covered in V1. Another half distance is covered in V2. At that time also average speed average speed or average velocity. Average velocity is equal to 2v1 v2 by v1 plus v2. So these two are node points. Okay, so half of the distance covered in v1, another half of distance is covered in v2. So then average speed is 2v1 v2 by v1 plus v2. Total distance covered in v1 kilometers per hour, and return back the distance is covered in v2 kilometers per hour. At that time also 2v1 v2 by v1 plus v2. So these are the two node points we have to apply any numericals given like this. Okay, so this is about today session. So in this session I discussed distance problems and displacement problems based upon distance and displacement we discussed, and average speed and average velocity. So we discussed types of speed, types of velocity we discussed, and problems on average speed and average velocity also we discussed. So I hope you are all understood this lecture. While watching this lecture, if you will get any doubt, feel free to mention in comment box. So again, I will come back with the new concepts and new formulas on next lecture. Thank you for watching my lectures. Thank you for encouraging me. Thank you so much.